Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, on my 16cm circumference wrist, you can see the grandest of Grand Seiko dials. Why? Because the champagne dial with 12 distinct steps is the most complex dial fabrication the Grand Seiko offers. Now, the watch on my wrist is a wonderful fit. At 41 millimeters in diameter, it's not terribly thick, nor is it thin. 14 millimeters thick with a stepped case flank, it'll easily fit underneath a jacket cuff. Lug-to-lug 48.5 millimeters if you include the solid end links of the bracelet, 52 millimeters. I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference on the bracelet, 14 if you put it on a strap. The spacing between the lugs, 20 millimeters, and as you can see, the watch has a full-figured stance and presence on the wrist. It's not oversized, nor is it traditionally sized in any conventional sense. The watch is substantial, all in stainless steel. It features a bracelet to match, and the bracelet is nicely executed with a staggered link alignment, staggered link size, differential finish, and as you can see, it is nicely polished on its flank with a little bit of a wrap from the hoods to the sides by means of a polished bevel along the edge. There are apertures in the lugs to allow you to swap out to a strap should you wish, and the watch would look more natural due to the aperture holes on a strap of any kind than would an Omega or Rolex of current production. The watch just seems aesthetically a bit more adaptable than a lot of the Swiss watches with integrated bracelets. You can see that there are screws used to size the removable links, as this is a steel Grand Seiko bracelet, not pin sleeves like the titanium. Trigger release, you can see the system is quite secure. It is a slim, non-diving clasp. A lot of folks have only seen Rolex and Omega divers or sports watches. Once you get away from hardcore professionals type sports watches, you do get much slimmer and more elegant and less desk diving susceptible clasp designs, and I like the twin trigger release for security. The case band, optically flawless, mirrored really. This is the black style polish, equivalent to what you'll see on components of Swiss movements, only executed on a giant scale upon the exterior of this case. You can see that it is a perfectly matched artisanal technique from side to side. Though all of this is done by eye and feel, the tin plate Zaratsu direct metal on metal polishing is remarkably artisanal while being millimetrically precise at the same time. This is a hand finished watch in the most traditional sense. It's executed entirely by craft art. Very little mechanical assistance, just a spinning plate, the artisan's hands, and experience. You'll also note there's a contrast between the satin of the hoods and the polish to the flanks, a strong bevel that runs from side to side, uniting both sides of the case, and there's a hard edge to the bezel itself with a step up from the case band to add a little bit of character to the case design. The dial has undertones of gold and silver, and this makes sense because both metals are plated on. 12 steps starting with stamping, including galvanizing of gold and silver, as well as varnish. This is the most complex dial that Grand Seiko produces, and it's deceptively so. You might guess something like the peacock or the snowflake, but no, when you see the champagne dial, you're looking at the big boy and the big gun. All applique dial features, from the Grand Seiko logo to the individual hour indices to the aperture for the date, diamond polished and hand applied. Dial furniture on a Grand Seiko equal to or superior to the finest you'll receive from Rolex, Omega, Breitling, and the Swiss lot. You can also note that the black polished and faceted Dauphine hands at center are as good as anything in the world, and the 24-hour GMT hand is actually heat blued steel, not dyed. There's a flange outboard that allows you to trace 24 hours because the watch does feature a second time zone that's settable independently, and you can see how that system works. You can actually move the date forward or backwards, jumping time zones as you move. Seconds, minutes, and 24-hour format remain stationary. This is a great traveler's feature. Then pull the crown out all the way. You do have hacking or stop seconds. The watch also featuring a power reserve indicator right down at 7 o'clock. You can see it allows you to trace the 70-hour or roughly 3-day power reserve, and the crown is a screw down that endows the watch with 100-meter water resistance. The 30-jewel handmade movement is assembled and regulated by a watchmaker, and when the time comes, it is serviced by a watchmaker. Spring Drive caliber 9R66, you can see the unidirectional governing wheel that produces the smooth and seamless unstepped sweep of the Spring Drive seconds hand. Plus or minus 15 seconds per month of accuracy. It is a hybrid of quartz and mechanical. No capacitors, no batteries, and no motors. All of the energy and the motion comes from the mainspring, which is manually or automatically wound. And the governing wheel wakes up a quartz oscillator by means of induced electrical current, and that creates a back EMF that waxes and wanes, slowing or speeding up the seconds hand to keep the watch on target. And again, this is a lifetime movement, not disposable electronics. It will go back to Japan. It will be serviced just like a mechanical movement. It will come back to your wrist, and you get a handsome little display case back to admire its quirky and frankly, extraordinary mechanics. The original concept was born in 1977. Automatic winding spring drive didn't come to market until 2005, giving you a sense of the difficulty of achieving this technology. This is the Grand Seiko Spring Drive GMT SBGE205. See it and make it yours on the watch box.